The Mailman. For years GTA 4 players thought he was a myth, as so few had ever seen him, and the few gamers who had seen him were not believed because they had no evidence. In 2008 an image from GTA 4 of a dead body was posted on their message board, which he claimed to be a mailman, inconclusive as the gamer had just killed the guy before taking the picture. So, much like UFOs, mailmen continued to be a myth that most GTA players thought were not real. Finally, someone caught a mailman on video and posted it on YouTube. Since then other videos of mailmen have been posted. Finding a mailman seemed to be nearly impossible. Some estimates was you had a 1 out of 100 chance of finding one. Except, it would make little sense for Rockstar to spend tens of thousands of dollars programming a character just to make him rare. I have my own theory as to why mailmen are so hard to find. But first, let me show you how to find one. I first encountered a mailman in Bohan while selling a stolen car. At the time I was making the video of Nico pushing characters off of the cliff in Rotterdam Hill, and thought the mailman would be a good addition to that video. I struck him, and he gave chase. Now all I had to do was get him to chase me all the way to the cliff. Halfway across the first span of the East Borough Bridge, fucking Jimmy Pegarino called me, and Nico stopped to answer the phone. The mailman caught up and punched me, just as a police car was driving by. I helplessly watched as the police arrested the mailman. I went back to Bohan to find another mailman, but spent hours looking with no results. Later that day, I looked up the mailman online and found out how rare he was reported to be. Someone reported seeing him taking mail out of the mailbox next to the pool hall, so I decided to stake out that location. After going through a couple of day cycles without any mailman, I decided to drive away and back to the mailbox so that the game could despawn AI characters and hopefully spawn in a mailman. And it worked. Now that I got a mailman to spawn, I needed to get him to the cliff. It took several attempts. Sometimes he would get hit by a car. Sometimes a cop would see me hit him and attempt to arrest me. Sometimes another AI character would come to my aid and beat up the mailman. And there were a few times I got him to the cliff, but knocked him out before I could push him off the cliff. One time the mailman even pushed me off the cliff. Nevertheless, I was able to get the mailman to spawn several times and finally got the video I needed. So, here we are, waiting for a new mailman to spawn. As you can see, you sometimes have to drive back and forth from the mailbox many times before a mailman will spawn. Finally, you can tell that it is a mailman because it is the only character that would be crouching next to a mailbox. Let's follow him to see where he goes.
Hey, how's my favorite shrink? Yeah, I think we could up the dosage. You want to have a nasty accident?
Fuck you and your bed, son. Excuse me.
Coming through.
Yeah, but, my life is just going down the same beaten path day after day. I mean, well, yeah, I'm a mailman. What do you mean? Yeah. I dream of dogs, and they're constantly biting my nuts. Yeah? Thanks, Doc. See ya.
Pardon me, please.
Why would Rockstar have hired a voice actor to record dialogue for the mailman talking on the phone if the character was supposed to be rare? Not only that, but dialogue was recorded for when the mailman wants to fight Nico.
Want a special delivery? Neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow. Striking a federal worker is a felony offense. I'm gonna stamp your ass.
This would seem unusual if the mailman was meant to only spawn 1 out of 100 times. Part of the mailman myth is that he follows a route. However, as you can see, he doesn't go near any other mailboxes, nor deliver any mail. Eventually he hits an intersection and begins walking around it again and again. This is what all the AI characters do. They follow a brief path, after which they go to an intersection and begin circling it endlessly. Which means this mailman is not following a route. Since it is unlikely he will ever stop circling the intersection, let's make him run. He goes nowhere in particular, just aimlessly runs about. My guess is that the mailman is not rare. The reason he is hardly ever seen is that he spawns crouched behind the mailbox. Driving by him, you would never see him, because he is unintentionally hiding. After about 10 seconds of removing the mail, he gets up and begins walking. But by that time a player has already left the area, so never sees him. My guess is that different mailboxes spawn mailmen at different times of the day, and perhaps only a few mailboxes actually spawn mailmen. So while he seems like a rare character, he isn't. However, trying to find a mailman by running around town to check every mailbox is futile, since his respawn areas keep changing. You would need to pass the right mailbox at the exact same time he is spawning. You are better off checking the same mailbox again and again.